So you clicked on the link because you are thinking about going into real estate, or maybe you are and you want to know more about the value of video marketing and what it's done to not only our real estate business, but another well-known person that we're going to have on our
special
podcast
guest
today.
for you today.
So stay tuned. You are going to want to miss this one.
Hey, Just Finest Agents, it's Laurie and Kalene, and we are pushing on a ton of new content this year. And today we are going to talk with Krista Mashore, and she is one of the top real estate agents. And so we're going to learn from her today. But if you want to follow along our journey, make sure you hit the subscribe button or that bell as we go over how we built our business and did over $600,000 in commission and salary in our second year. So make sure to subscribe button and the bell. Reach out to us anytime. This is why we do these videos. We love real estate, but we also love helping you grow your real estate business at no cost. So reach out 719-639-3393. Hey everyone, it's Laurie and Kalene with Just Finest Agents. And today we are so excited. We have Krista Mashore on with us. She is one of the top 1% producing real estate agents in the last 20 years, has a huge coaching program, is just a phenomenal real estate agent and a phenomenal mentor to your agents all across the country. So we're excited to have her today. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm super excited to be here, and let's just rock it out, Kalene and Laurie. We're gonna
rock it out today. I know.
So we first came across Krista. We were at a video marketing conference, and it was at the beginning of COVID, and we actually met you, I guess, on video marketing. Virtually met you at that event, but your brand really stuck out in our mind. Like I'm a very visual person, so I just remember all the colors and started following you on social media, and then see, of course, now all of your coaching and ads and everything pop up in my feed. So I feel like I kind of know what you're doing, but I see all the awards behind you. So how long have you been in real estate as far as it being your primary career?
20 years. Yeah. 20 years I've been doing it. And about 4 years ago, I stepped into coaching. So I still do sell real estate, but I'm just more of the face of it. And I have my brother now acts as if he's me. I just create the videos and the scripts, and I don't talk to buyers or sellers or meet with them. My brother does all that for me. And then our systems and processes kind of like, take over. So it's been pretty cool.
You have a good team in place, which is important.
Yes.
So you were also in education like we were. So Kalene and I both have an education background, and you were in the classroom. I think you known it for like 6 years. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah. I was at 6th year, I taught 3rd grade, and I was going to be a principal. And then my youngest daughter got sick. And so I decided to leave real estate. Leave teaching and get into real estate and kind of play real estate was sort of my idea. I'd sell 5 homes a year and make as much as I made as a teacher. Right. And that kind of quickly dried up. I found out my husband was having an affair back at the time. And then we ended up being left with 2 little girls in a brand new house and empty bank accounts. So I had to do more than play real estate.
So that's kind of our, when we first got into real estate, we are like, put our minds to it. Let's just get it done. And that sign GYST, that's kind of our slogan. We look at it, it says, get your shit together. That's like, you can't really dwell on it too much. We just put goals out there and just get it done. And I think that that's the beauty of real estate too, is you're entrepreneurs. Like you have to have that intrinsic drive, whatever that may be, whether it's money or a need or, some people judge how well they're doing in real estate by give back goals or whatnot. And that's what I love about real estate is you can take it and mesh it into whatever idea and drive that you have for your real estate business. Just like you're producing and now you're into coaching. So why'd you transition over to coaching? What was your drive behind that?
I'd sold like 2,200 homes over 2,000 homes. And I was at a point where I just wanted to give back. I mean, I love teaching. Obviously I was a teacher and I love being a teacher, and I missed that aspect of it. And so I decided, and I'd been being told from everyone forever, you should coach, you're so inspiring. And then I was reading this book, Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill. And it was talking about how people, you get these callings from the universe that you should do things. And when you get them, do them. And I was like, I'm going for it, and so, and honestly, I was tired. Like I was, my best year in real estate, I sold 169 homes. The year I left real estate to go coaching, I had sold 154 homes, like myself. This is not with the team. It was like me, right, an assistant and a TC, right? And I was just like on vacation with my kids, and they're like, Mom, you're always on the phone. Mom. I'm like sneaking out of my bedroom at, like at 3 a.m. on vacation and working in the lobby. And I was just tired. And even though I have amazing systems and all that, when you're selling 150, 170 homes by yourself, it's a lot. Like, I don't care how great your team is. I'm the one that does the contracts and reviews the disclosures and meets for the inspections and negotiates repairs. And like, I'm involved, I'm not that agent that just, here you go, here's your disclosures, So, and I'm very much a people pleaser. So I was good at setting boundaries towards like the last 5 years, but I was just ready to help other people. And so, I just pretty much just quit, almost like, brother Josh, you're going to be my new Krista. You're going to be Krista from now. I was like, come over. I'm going to show you how to be a realtor.
Yeah. And where are you at in the country again?
I'm in between Sacramento and San Francisco.
Okay.
So you're
Perfect.
Called Discovery Bay.
Yeah. I feel like Laurie and I always, at the beginning, you're just selling real estate, and then you hear these people say, we've sold over 230 homes, and logistically, we both look at each other and we're like, how can you duplicate yourself that many times to be able to do that? So that's very impressive, though, in the 150s by yourself. Like,
that's
my head would be spinning. And we get the same thing with our kids. We'll get in the cars and they'll be like, another phone call.
I know.
It is what it is.
It is. I remember my oldest daughter graduated from high school. I cried for like 4 months because I felt so guilty for missing so much. I was a single mom for a lot of years, and I had to put a roof over our head and keep them in their house, and all this stuff. It was a lot of pressure. So I just was like a steam engine, and the steam engine never stopped. It was like my first year I sold 69 homes, and I just like, then like almost 100 homes a year every year. I wrote the book called Sell 100 Homes a Year. It's around here somewhere, but 100 homes a year. So it was just like, and then, but now like I've got really great systems and processes. I didn't even have any like CRM for many years. I can't imagine if I would have had that way sooner and had like the funnels and all things I built now, I would have had much more of a life and probably would have sold even more. But, I learned, I didn't have anyone to teach me back then. You learn it was 20 years ago. That was when they had the Thomas Guide. And here I am like showing 13 properties at a time and having to write out the Thomas Guide. And it takes just 4 hours to get ready for buyers. It was like, I don't know how I did it.
Yeah.
You had a lot going on. So you are in coaching now a lot, but obviously you were, a successful agent for many years. What do you think, how did you do your lead generation? What do you think made your real estate business? I mean, they say like, 80% of realtors fail in the first
4 years,
2 years, basically. So
87% of realtors fail within 5 years.
It's kind of daunting, I think, to go into as a real estate agent. What do you think, set you apart, or how did you do your lead generation that kind of puts you apart? And I'm sure people can obviously reach out to some of your books as well to access some of that.
I know what worked. And what worked is that I was always studying what my competition was doing and studying what other businesses were doing and seeing how I could absolutely do it 10 times better. And I know that sounds, but like, for example, when people would have like they'd sell a house, I would have 4-page colored brochures, and I'd get a CD and with like 75 pictures. This is back 20 years ago, but the CD on that thing was they could download, and I'd buy TV ads on TV to market them on TV. And I just did everything that everyone else wasn't willing to do, if that makes sense. And I invested in my business and in myself. And I've always just tried to do that. And so, the market got really bad when the short sales and foreclosures hits, but I kind of was seeing it was going to happen. So I was traveling the country, and I picked up like 13 different asset management companies and banks. And so I sold foreclosures.
So capitalize on it.
Yeah, but that was like a nightmare. I'd rather be a stripper in Vegas than do that. And whoever wants it's so hard selling foreclosures. But when the market switched, and I remember I lost a listing and I said, hey, how come you didn't choose me? I'd love constructive feedback. And they said, Krista, we loved you, but the last guy called you a foreclosure queen. And that was right when the market started getting better,
Yeah.
Around 2012, 13. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to completely reinvent myself. So I started studying what the Fortune 500 companies were doing. And I was researching like what really good marketers were doing, and they were using video. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to start doing videos on everything around my community. So I had a videographer that I paid $100 a video, and I did it on all my listings, and I would use drone photography. This is, like I said, 9 years ago.
Yeah, but it wasn't so popular yet. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody was doing it. And I would do like community videos and interview local restaurants and just like, and all of a sudden within a year, I was back up over 100 homes, and all of them were regular sales. And my goal was to be known as the digital marketer queen, not as the foreclosure queen. So I just turned it around, and I've been doing that ever since, like videos, putting them on social media, running ads behind them, paying for advertisements on these platforms so I can get massive exposure. And just that's it.
Yeah, that's Kalene. We always say like that was our thing, is video marketing. Always been our thing. I'm like, people want to get to know you. Like they feel like they already do know you.
Yep.
I think it's one of the powerful things of video marketing, when we try to help other agents who join us realize the power that video has nowadays.
And you can be just you. You don't have to be anybody else. It is you. Everybody knows you. And it either, if they're attracted to that, then you'll get the phone call. If not, you don't even know you missed the deal. So,
and you're happy because it's like you attract the people that you want to work with and that like you, and you detract the a-holes, It's like, awesome. I like who I work with now.
Yeah. It's a lot less work because everybody that's reaching out already knows, what your style is, what your personality, what you're good at, what bit of information that you've given them for value. One thing that you mentioned that just resonated with me when Laurie and I started, I feel like we're just like these little butterflies. Like I felt like when we first named our business, it had to be something that we could grow with. And it's just such a business of morphing yourself and reinventing. And just in our short time, I feel like we've done that a handful of times. And it was hard for me to understand that it's okay to do that. You can reinvent yourself. You can, like you said, look what the competition's doing and figure out what the next step is and how to maybe perfect it or do it better in your own vision. So
let me show you
that you said that.
So this was a marketing plan that I did that I loved. That was like, a year ago. Before that, it was now they're this, right? Like I like this one way better, but the point was, I was like, I didn't have to stick with this blue. I could go to different colors and I could change and modify and no one cares. I always market my name and just adapt. I mean, this one was great, but this one's better. The one before it was great, but this one was better than that one.
I think people are so hesitant just to jump in. Like they get so worked up with whether or not it's perfect yet, whether or not it's like correct. And I'm like, just go in there and do it. Otherwise you're going to be stuck in that place. I think it's even like when people are thinking of getting their real estate license, we talk to new agents who are like, should I do it? Should I not do it? Until you just jump in and take that first step, you're just not going to know. I think people get caught up in that a little bit.
So your coaching, do you focus on video marketing, or what's the focus of your coaching? Is it putting systems in place to offload your time to where you're most effective, or what's your elevator speech with that?
So we're basically selling, honestly, a business in a box, right? It's like taking 10 years of digital marketing, because these are like, I don't know if these, but they're digital marketing funnels. So each one of those awards that have generated over $1 million in revenue, and the one that's in silver has been done 10 million. So we've done almost $17 million in under 4 years online. And before that, we did that, $1 million a year plus online in real estate. So what I've done is I've taken traditional type of marketing activities that realtors do, and I've brought a digital twist to it so I can help them sell one to many instead of one to one. Right.
Okay.
So we teach them how to utilize video and social media to like get hundreds of hours of watch time, thousands of views, thousands of engagements. And then we give them things like we teach them how to make their own, marketing plan and how to write. Like I let them be, a co-author in a book for me. And I just give them like everything they need to, I give them all their funnels, and then I teach them how to utilize the funnels and the book and the marketing, all these things to position themselves as completely different than their competitors. So it's pretty comprehensive, I will say, but it works for brand new agents. I love brand new agents because I can teach them out of the gate. And then we give them the systems. I've got something called the Mashore method. It's kind of like KV Core on steroids, because it's like we've built our own software with funnels and, transaction management and workflows and website and all of these things in one, so that they can have a life, and so we teach people how to. And that was really important to me, given the fact that I felt like I didn't have one for so many years. It was like, how do I give people, you get into real estate to have more financial freedom and time to realize that you have neither, right? So my goal was like, in fact, my manifesto says like, I make a difference in the world. I uplift and build those around me. I help others achieve more in life and have more financial freedom and time. I am building community market leaders across the country who make an impact on their communities and who are go-givers. Like, I'm obsessed with helping people just have the best life possible.
Right. Well, and that's kind of Laurie and I's, we've morphed, I guess. And our latest thing is that we're trying to leverage our time, and how can we automate some of these things and put these amazing tools that we have in action to leverage our time so we can still be moms and, serve our clients to the best we can, but not worry about the things that can be automated. And so we're continually evaluating what we can put into a process so we can kind of set it and let it go.
Yeah, it's like views while you snooze, right? So what people don't understand about your video content is if you know how to properly distribute it, and that's where most agents fail, is like they'll create all this content and they just post it on their business page and
then
post
it goes away.
And no one sees it, right?
Yeah.
But if they can like get views while you snooze, you're on vacation, you're making cookies for your donuts for your kids.
I saw that video of you. You were making something.
I love to cook, but it's like and then it works for you while you're not working. And there's something called a parasocial relationship. And what that means is that our brains have been predispositioned to see somebody on the other side of a screen because of the boob tube, and we see them of importance. We start to develop a one-sided relationship, a parasocial relationship.
Right.
And like you said, they think that they know us. So we walk in a listing appointment and we're competing. If I've been doing videos and they've been binging me, I'm winning every time. And then if I follow it with all my other processes and systems, like hands down, I'm going to take the deal. And that's what people don't understand. It's like, you're winning before you arrive. Right. And
what are your favorite platforms, or what are, I feel like everybody has that one go-to. What would you say yours is? Where do you capitalize?
Well, I have my own, so it's hard because I use my own right now. So before I had my own, I used to love like Carrot, and it was really great website that takes videos and enhances it. And then I liked Real Evolve. It was great transaction management, right? And then I love ClickFunnels because I build all my funnels out on there, right? But it's hard when you have so many different things. So we just put those all into one, which is great. But I think for somebody starting out, all you need is a cell phone to start, and you just need to use your video camera on there and just start that way and then go from there. Don't worry about graphics and edits. Like I remember when I first started, I took books and I lay the books up and I put my phone there, and I just be like making sure there's no underwear in the background, and I just hit record,
So is Facebook the main social platform that you use?
Yes, absolutely. Facebook, 110%. I love Facebook. I've been doing Facebook for 8+ years, and we've mastered. We just started doing YouTube, so now we're actually running YouTube ads, and I'm taking YouTube courses and all that kind of stuff. But Facebook has generated me millions and millions of dollars, because people are just there all the time.
Yep. So that's your bread and butter is Facebook. Kalene and I talk about that too. People don't think in real estate you can give back. I think a lot of times, you come from an educational background, and people really, you are really a community member and giving back, and and I think
a pillar
in real estate, I think people think of it as more salesy, but I think just the ability to take an agent and help them transform their business, learn how to grow their business. I mean, the way that you can help is you as a single mom, you needed that revenue. And so having that as someone who really needs that revenue and to transform their lives and to transform those families into, not be living paycheck to paycheck and having the financial freedom. And, I think it's such a blessing too.
You get to the point where there's more to it than the paycheck. It's more about the time and who are you helping, and to be able to have the ability to come full circle with that. And like Brent Grove, I know you said you were just at one of his, what I liked about him is there's so much heart behind what he does.
Oh, I love him.
And it's just, I do feel like you can do that because you have more means to do that. You have more time. You can build your business to support certain causes that you love. And, you know, I feel like when we were in education, it was like, oh, you did that really good. Now here, can you do it for this and this? And there's no sort of motivation for with it other than to make your life more stressful.
Let me tell you, this is crazy, you guys. Okay. So as a teacher, I was after a master's degrees in teaching and working for 6 years, I was making under $60,000 a year. Okay. My best year in real estate, I did 1.8 million. That's 30 years of teaching.
Isn't it crazy?
It is.
It's crazy. It's really sad.
Or last Friday, I was thinking, it was like, you know, we brought home a check for $28,000. I'm like, that's like a first year teacher's salary. Like, I kind of feel guilty. I'm like, I mean, we work hard.
She said that. She looked at me and said, I feel guilty. I was like, don't
feel guilty.
Don't feel guilty.
But there's so much potential in real estate for people. And it's like doctors go to school for 13 years and they have to spend, you know, have $1 million, you know, loan bill. And
loan debt. Yeah.
They don't make it that kind of money. They don't make that kind of money. It's such a lucrative career. And if you really invest in it and learn how to do it right, and you're right, you can add, like, the reason why we do so well is because we are pillars of the community. We serve before selling. We add value. We give hope. We do things like community date night and, you know, scavenger hunts, and we interview local businesses, and we do all these things, and then we get it out there and people love it, and they get to know us. We're not saying I'm the best realtor, you know, we're saying, hey, I care about this community. And it's like, it's fun. Like, you like your job.
That's what we did when we even first got started. That was kind of part of our mission, was how do we continue, like, how do we give back to our community? Because at the end of the day, that was part of, you know, our why.
Yeah.
And we did a coat drive. I think that was one of our first like events or whatnot. And we went over the top. We like called the news station.
We were like, come on.
That's awesome.
When the news came though, I think there was like 3 people. We were like, well, they're
like, is there more? No, it's just us.
Don't worry about it. Film us.
On the news, and it was.
But we wound up just doing a couple transactions off of that, and that was a couple years ago. But you know, it did. Even though it was nerve-wracking and you're nervous about it, and it didn't go as well as you thought, it was still a success. And we still did something at the end of the day for our community. And it wasn't really even about the real estate. It was about that day, the coat drive and the exposure and helping that need in our community at that time. So
yes. And it helps everyone, right? It's like when contribution equals growth, the more you contribute, the more you'll grow. So I think you guys are doing it right. And what you're saying is true, and it works, you know, and it's fun.
Yeah. Now my question for you is like, so, you know, you can make, what I love about real estate is you can make real estate whatever it is. You know, if you work hard, you know, you're going to get the rewards of real estate. But so do your kiddos want to go into real estate?
Okay, I love you're asking this. So Jalen is always telling me, no, I'm not going to do it. Well, now she's 23 and she's getting her license, but she's also in school still.
Yeah.
But she's like, she said forever, I don't want to do what you do, Mom. I don't want to do it. You work too hard. But now they're realizing, like, man, life's pretty hard out there, and I don't want to work for $20 an hour. So
yeah.
You know, the average graduate that graduates from Cornell or Stanford or any of these great universities, they spend between $50,000 and $70,000 a year to go to the college. And then when they graduate, they average around $65,000 a year. After 12 years of being in their profession, the average person makes $85,000 a year. Yeah. That's sad.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, this is
crazy. Well, that's it. And even, you know, from a very basic standpoint, how do you make those numbers work so it, you know, it's beneficial? Like, that's a huge commitment for that type of return. Yeah. And that's what I do.
Never pay off your debt.
It's basic. Like, how much time did you spend? Does the money work out? If not, you can really pinpoint where it went wrong and change it.
You guys are lucky that you have each other, and it's I can tell you guys get along really well. You can tell your personalities are very similar and you jive good together. That's hard to find in a partner.
We lucked out.
Oh, you guys did. Were you guys friends beforehand?
We worked at the schools.
We worked together. We worked really well together. And so we just said, let's go to real estate. So we took the classes together and everything. And we just, our business is 50-50. We run it all that way. We always have. So
yeah, that's so awesome.
And she came from a background. She did a lot of online marketing. She lived abroad. I came from a background. My grandpa was in real estate. My parents were builders, and I think that even though we are a lot the same, we have different areas that we excel at. But we know that balance and how to let each other do what they do well. I'm always like, I don't know how to do that. I should probably know how to do that. She's like, you keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, it's true.
I think we'd be lost without each other, but
yeah. And we each have 3 kiddos, but you know what I love about yes, our kids, they don't want to go into real estate either. That's why I asked. Because
they will when they get older. When they get older, they will. They will when they get older.
You could pay your entire year's premium of insurance in one paycheck, guys.
We work a lot, but I think we have that mom guilt. I know we kind of go back and forth, sometimes, you talked about that raising as a single mom, raising your girls, not being there all the time and maybe being on the phone too much, we have the same guilt, we do. But at the same time, I'm teaching my daughter, and my sons to be hard workers, to be independent, to be, I'm hoping that I'm providing to be a strong role model for them and they can see, what it looks like to be like.
I wish my daughter was here right now because she would tell you, because when I was like crying, feeling guilty, she's like, Mom, she's like, you were the best mom. And you showed me what it's like to work and to be responsible. She's like, you were always there when you needed to be, and I was like, okay, but I still felt a little guilty.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
I know. Thank you for making me, but
what's next on your agenda? What is 2021, 2022? Like, what's your your goals going forward?
Well, I'm excited. So 4 years ago, I wrote down this thing. It says, I'm the #1 real estate trainer in the world. I speak at conferences across the country and I have trainings with thousands of people. That's happening now. And I wrote that I had no idea how it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Last month, I spoke in front of 4,600 people live and they're like 6,000, total virtual. And I'm speaking at Funnel Hacking Live next month. And there's going to be like 10,000 people there. So all these things are finally coming to true.
Yeah. Write it down, right?
Yeah, my parents were like, why normal people do not leave their, multi-million-dollar career to go be a coach. Like no one is going to pay you to coach them, Krista. And now we're doing $1 million a month. So it's been so awesome. Like we're helping a ton of people just crush it. So it's been, I love it. I just love helping people and I just love seeing the success of people. So it's been really fun and I feel blessed. But it was, let me tell you, 3 hard years of what the heck did I do? Like, why did I leave? Like, oh my gosh.
Now, so if people want to access your coaching, how do they best contact you? And, do they find you on Facebook or where do they go?
So what I would tell them to do is you can always look me up, Krista Mashore. I'm on Instagram and Facebook and all the handles. And then also the best thing to do is I do a 2-day event that's virtual, love you, baby, every single month. And it's, I love you too, baby. It's $97. It's 15 hours of coaching where I talk all about social media and video and listing processes and, funnels and all that good stuff. Like I teach them how to market themselves online. You just go to KristaMashore.com, /2, / days live. So KristaMashore.com / 2 days live. And you can sign up and go there and see me and I'll help you like crazy.
Yeah, no, I think one of the things we talk about is like when you're jumping into real estate, find yourself a mentor that you jive with, that you kind of want to model your business after. Because I think as a new agent, or even if you're stuck in your real estate career, like that makes like the biggest difference, I think, as far as, being successful as an agent is just having those supports and people who are aligned. I know for us, it made a huge difference when we switched over to where we're at now. It just has made a huge difference in growing our business.
Especially in real estate, because everyone's so like, oh, don't share. And they don't want to help. And like your broker's competing with you. It's sad. And I mean, they're still teaching people to door knock and cold call and do all these things that are not effective anymore because they have not educated themselves. And we live in the 21st century. There's this thing called Google and social media, right? That it's like open houses are ineffective. And we all know it. They work to get buyers. They don't work to sell the house. And that's the kind of conversation I have with sellers. Like they don't work and here's why, let me show you what does,
Yeah. Right.
So
we believe in what you're doing too.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, but I love you guys having me on here. I love seeing how well you guys get together and you work too well. And I love that you're helping people. And I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll be in touch. And like I said, we are just so grateful that you're on here with us today. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for taking
I
time.
appreciate your time. Thanks for having me. And you guys keep kicking butt.
Thanks. Best of luck
Thanks.
to you.
Bye, everybody. Make sure you implement. Time to implement.